Okay, so I think we should be getting ready to get started. So you can go ahead and share your screen. Okay, so that's awesome. Okay, so for those of you in the chat, just confirm that you can see the screen. Okay, awesome. So I think they can. Okay, all right, so that's awesome. So I'm sure everyone can see the screen. And so if you have questions, so Eugene, let me make sure you have the right to unmute them. I'll give you the right to unmute just in case anyone asks questions.
Okay.
So I'll make you the host. Okay, so you will have the right to unmute them if you want them to speak. Okay. All right, so I think you're all set to go. Whenever you're ready, you can get started.
All right, so today's lesson is going to be on time in the endgame, and we're going to look at different examples of when time is really important and when a player should make forced moves, like the best moves to stay in the game or to win, or whether they should patiently wait and like take their time, either to put their opponent in zugzwang, like to pass the move, and we're going to look at different examples of that. So if you have any questions, like at any point during the lesson, you can just type your question, or you can unmute your mic as well. I'm gonna just allow everyone to talk, I guess. Oh wait. But if you don't have any questions, then just keep your mic muted.
I got a question.
Sure, go ahead.
What is Eugene?
What is
Zugzwang?
zugzwang is when a certain player is in a position where they don't want to move, because if they move, then they lose. Okay, we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that like more detailed later. So
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, like I'm on a tablet and I don't really know how to like turn my screen on. Like.
So can you see my board on your?
Yes, I can.
You cannot turn your video on. It's only unmuted. That's it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to have your video on. Just
That's my.
As long as you can see the screen and you can hear me.
I have a quick question about this. Whose move is this?
It's black to move right now, but black is gonna take the rook. So. Yeah. So. Okay, so I think if anyone doesn't have any more questions, then we'll start. So this is one of my games. I was playing white, and the material is equal, with 3 pawns and a rook for each side. and it's white to move. So what would you guys play here as white? C4. Okay. Does anyone have any other ideas?
Could you do rook f2?
White to move. So I don't know if you meant rook f1 or.
Sorry, rook f1. I usually get confused with the
Okay,
notation.
that's no problem. Rook f1. Okay, so we have c4 and rook f1. And someone said black is going to take the pawn. That's true.
Oh, I meant, yeah, I take that pawn and the pawn on d5, since the rook can't, actually, never mind. I didn't see that it can go to e1, because, yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. So the black rook is attacking white's pawn. Okay, do we have anyone? Rook h1, okay. So rook h1, rook f1, and c4. So usually in rook endgames, you don't want to play too passively. Like you don't want to defend too much with your rook, because as we can see here, black's rook is very active. He's attacking my pawns. He can go to e2 as well. Whoops, and attack this pawn. So if I play something like rook h1, then he'll just play rook e2, and then he's going to take e5. And if I play rook f1, he'll just play king g7, rook check, king f8. And he's going to take one of these pawns. And if I play rook f1, then he'll also play king g7. And then the same thing. So that's not getting anywhere. So my only chance was to play c4 to give up this pawn in exchange for some time to push this pawn. And my rook is already set to go behind the pawn. So usually in rook endgames, you want to have your rook behind the pawn. So c4 is not passive. It's like it's dynamic. It's the opposite. Passive would be something like, if I can move, rook h1, because this rook has to defend. Okay, so c4. He played rook e2. He decided to go for this pawn. The reason he wanted to take this pawn rather than this one is so he could get these connected pass pawns. And yeah, so that's why I went for this pawn. I continued pushing, takes, and rook c1. Otherwise, if I play c6, then he plays check, and then I can't go here because he'll fork, right? And if I play king a2, I no longer have control over c1 from here. So I can't bring my rook back. And then after rook c5, I'll just lose because this pawn is going to fall. So that's why I should have asked you guys that, like why it's bad, but anyways, it's too late now. c6, not good because of rook b5 check. And then because the check is important to force my king to a bad square, because if I start with this, then rook c1. So check first. Sometimes in rook endgames you do that as well. You check first with the rook. And then, but that's depending on the position. Okay. So that's why I played rook c1, because I didn't want his rook to get behind my pawn. And here, black has to play, kind of is forced to do something. So what is black forced to do here?
Can I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe black can go to h5.
Rook h5.
H
Okay.
rook.
If black continues to try and take these pawns, then I will promote.
Oh,
Well, you could still come back and check actually. And then you should be able to come back in time with rook b8.
oh, okay.
So I guess it's still okay. It's not like losing it. But I think my opponent just wanted to bring his rook back immediately because, yeah, that's exactly what he did. He just brought his rook back immediately because then he could start pushing these pawns like in front. So that he played rook. Oh, he played king g5. Okay, I thought he played rook d5, but I forgot. It was a while ago. Okay, so yeah, he didn't bring his rook back immediately because he could also play something like f5, like he stated. Because c6 isn't winning because he has this check, so he makes it back in time. And then this is similar to the game, so we're gonna see what happens. So he starts with king g5 first, c6, check, and now we see this, king c2, set back, king d3. The pawn race begins. So I have one pawn to his two pawns, but my pawn is like a lot more far advanced, so that's why I still have chances to like draw the game, even though I'm down a pawn. Okay. Here, so after king d4, I guess I was trying to bring my king there. So should black bring his king back to protect it or push his pawn? King f6. Let me move this. Okay, we have some mixed answers. Okay, so I think mostly everyone.
I think I know the move here.
You know the move?
Yeah, what if h4 check because it deflects black's king?
Oh, it's black to move here.
Oh, okay.
No, I just played king d4. So this requires a bit of calculation. So I can remove these arrows actually, just to make it clear.
It's f4.
f4, okay. We're gonna look at both. Okay, so mostly everyone said f4, I think. How are you guys talking? Oh, maybe I didn't unmute everyone. Sorry.
No, you can do everything. I think you did.
Yeah, because like when you asked me like to unmute this thing, the mute button just kind of like came and then it came because at the starting I didn't see the unmute and mute button.
Okay, I just fixed it. I think everyone should be able to unmute now.
Yeah, it's because I joined late.
Okay, that's no problem then. I think, yeah. Okay. Tony, you have your hand up. Do you have a question or something? Okay. Okay, so in the game, my opponent played king f6. So this is logical. Like this, I think, And my opponent was an IM as well. So like this is a logical move. It just stops my king from moving up, and he definitely was trying to play for a win, so he didn't want to give my king that much space to take his e6 pawn. So that's why I played king f6 in that sense. But here I actually have like a slight advantage now. Yeah, I put dubious because like the best move objectively is f4, because like it looks unnatural. Usually you want to stop your opponent's king from gaining space, but in this case, Black can move his pawn up really far and then sacrifice his rook from my pawn and then bring his king in time. And my king's going to be super far, so he will be able to recapture my rook and be close to this pawn. So he has at least a draw if he played this. Like this. But this would just be a draw, because something like h5, then I take this and then queen, and we have a draw. So okay, he plays king f6. I probably would have played king f6, but why take the pawn? Yeah, he was playing for a win, so he didn't want to trade everything off. Okay, king c5. I couldn't go to e5, so I went to c5. And if I pushed c7, it would be a mistake here, because after rook c8, I can't bring my king any closer because this square is off limits, because he'll take, this is off, and this is off. So my king is cut off completely. So I start with king c5, which is correct. F4. And this is a mistake. So after f4, what would you play as white? What's the best move?
Maybe you could go king d6, because then it straight for aims the c file, and then you can get the rook. You can like deflect the rook out of the b file, trying to like, so you can like open the c file for the rook to also come in and support the pawn.
Okay, so your idea with king d6 is to play king c7, or?
No. It's just to king d6 has many of them. Like it also helps the pawn push, and it can also help you queen too.
Okay, so what's the difference with c7? Like, why would c7 not work in that case? Are you?
C7, oh yeah, c7 is a good move.
Okay, so you're okay with both, is what
Yeah, I'm
you're
okay
saying?
with both, because both seem to win.
Okay. You do not have the ability. Oh, did I not? Okay, wait. I'm just checking now. Okay, yeah, I think everyone should be able to talk now. Okay, so we have.
Yeah, in the chat that they can't unmute themselves.
Okay, I think I hopefully fixed it by now. Like, yeah, looks like it. Okay, so c7, king d6, or wait, c7, c7, c7. Okay, c7. Yeah, I think most people say king c7, and some people are okay with both. So the answer is c7. Unfortunately, I did not play that. I played king d6, which is a mistake, because c7 is a forcing move. So my idea was to play c7 on the next move. Like, I thought it was pretty much the same. So I just played king d6, but c7's actually forcing doesn't give black other options with the rook after king d6. Yeah, rook d8, exactly. And now my king has to waste time because it has to go in front of the pawn. And I don't get to play c7. And he gets time with this, actually. And if I just move back, then I just lost a move for nothing, and he'll just like push, I guess, here. Or, yeah, something like that.
Did you win this game?
Oh, you guys don't see the result yet? You'll see at the end. I'll just leave it. If you haven't already seen it. Okay. So king c7, and now he moves his rook, and now I have to waste another move to move my king away. Okay, so I just played this, e5, c7, e4. Can white save the game? So what should white play here?
What if we queens? You also rook up.
Okay, so
Wait,
you're
did you
suggesting
win
queen?
this game?
Yeah.
Did you
Because queen works because you will you can't stop both of the threats.
Yep, so queen, that's an option. And if black has to take, I guess, and what piece would you take with here?
I think I would take with the king because this rook is covering up. Or no. Let's just say we take with the rook. You can also attack these pieces.
If you take with king, then you're dead no matter what.
Wow,
Yeah.
some good discussion here.
I just think if you
You
take
hold
win, though.
rook and then e3,
Yeah.
and then you have to play rook.
I
or
don't
else-
think I don't think the queen is the answer because of the 2 pawns.
Okay,
No, you can stop those pawns. Trust me, you can stop them.
No, you
No,
No,
can't.
because the king is
Because
one.
you're
okay.
not gonna advance.
Okay,
Okay, so then
we'll see, guys. I'll explain it.
No, you
But-
can't. You can't save the pawns.
It's good that everyone has different opinions, because the right answer is only gonna be based off of calculation. So if I take with the king, then it's actually losing because these 2 pawns will win. He will just push them, I guess. And like king d7, king e5, which is important, to stop this.
Wait, I thought you can just play d3 because can't you just play? Oh, wait, no, you can't. Fine.
E3?
No,
Yeah, I think
No,
maybe.
no. I don't think it works though because you have wait.
Rook c3? No, it's winning.
No, it still works. Wait.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
principle. 2 pawns on the 6th rank always beats a rook.
Not always. The king, if the black king's position is horrible, it's possible.
Yeah, and
True,
by the
but
way,
the white's king is
like say for
too far.
example, Black's king is on GA and then White's king is on Jog. Don't you see? You can get these pawns. Let's say this king was placed on G7. You could easily get these pawns.
Yeah, okay. So black's king is way too far up already, and the pawns are already they're about to be on the 6th rank, so the only chance was
you
to take
mean
with the
third
rook.
rank?
Oh yeah, 3rd rank, sorry. I was just thinking from the blacks. So rook takes is actually still a draw. Because of these checks. Because of these checks on the 8th rank.
Oh, so you're
Gives
gonna
counterplay. No, I didn't play c8 in the game, but
Oh.
king e5. So this is the only move, because if he tries to push
He loses,
like this
and then you cheat.
here. Wait, how did it go? Oh, rook e8 first. Okay, rook e8 first, and then that stops f3 because take. And then f2. Okay, so
Could you save this game or?
could I save this game?
Yeah, because could you save it? Like in this position, do you think you could have saved it or
Oh, during the game, I thought this was this was lost. I didn't really consider taking with the rook. Right. So like if I saw the idea, then I would have saved it. So what was I saying? So if f3, then king d6. And if e3 now, then rook f8 check. And then this is winning. So yeah, I didn't really see this. So I didn't play c7. I played check.
Oh.
And rook e6. So this is a mistake. So c8 would have still been a draw, I think, but I didn't look at that. I didn't see it earlier, so like I wasn't gonna see it later. Okay.
Oh.
So here, there you go. So yeah, I was just trying to take one of these pawns, I guess, which I managed to do, because if he plays e3, then I play rook e8. Take. Yeah, he still could have played this. I think this is still winning for him. So in the game, we played something similar. Yeah, just the other way around. And I managed to queen, but he queens as well, and he has this extra pawn. What about rook f7 check? Rook f7 check. Rook f7 check. Here? F7. Or yeah, if rook f7 check, then I would have just played rook e7. And he doesn't want to draw, right? So he doesn't want to go back and do that. So yeah. So here, it's not with a check, so it's not as bad as the other way. But my king is not really that good. It would be better if it was closer in front of this pawn, so I could kind of stop it. But here it's just like so far away, and in queen endgames, you can't stop a passed pawn really, because the queen and pawn can work together, and it will.
I think this should end in a draw, because you'll keep checking him.
Okay, yeah, that's what I tried. I tried to keep checking. So, but my opponent played pretty well, and he brings his queen back. And his queen is really strong here. It defends like some key squares from checking. So,
But you got queen b3 check now.
yeah. So I still have checks. I didn't play queen b3 because after queen b3, why didn't I play queen b3? Just, I think I can just take, maybe. What did I play in the game? I played queen d2, yeah. So queen b3, queen f3, e6. Yeah, I think I just like he could just take, and eventually he should be able to run out of checks. Or I'm trying to see if there's a way right now just to avoid the checks. Because if queen f3, then queen e6. King g2. I'm not so sure. I think it should be winning just after king takes h2. Eventually he can run it. He can avoid the checks. Oh. Somebody said king h4. Well, then I have queen g3, right? So yeah, in the game I played queen d2. queen e5, and then push the pawn. So here he's just like, I didn't really analyze this part because it doesn't really relate to the topic, but he's just patiently improving his position by pushing both his pawns, and eventually he'll also attack h2. So you have a question, or because you raise your hand? Okay, you can just ask it, I guess. So yeah, that's exactly what he does. And eventually I couldn't stop the pawn anymore. So yeah, pretty much after he moved the h pawn all the way like this far, there was no check on h5 anymore. So that's why he was safe to play queen f4 and queen f2 and then promote. So like earlier, I think I played like correctly at the start, like to give up that pawn because I needed to gain time to push the pass pawn. So sometimes
No, but I think your main mistake was king d6.
yeah, definitely king d6 was the main mistake because it wasted that move, and it wasn't the forcing move. So usually if there's like a variation that you're going to plan out, usually it's better to start with the forcing move, because then there's no other options for your opponent to play. But in the game, I played king d6, so that was a mistake because that let rook d8. I didn't really think rook d8 was a good possibility. That's why. So yeah, let's go on to the next game then. If you guys don't have any questions. Okay. Okay, so this was also another one of my games. So sometimes I look at my games from like like lectures, because like I just like know what I was thinking better rather than analyzing like Grandmaster games. But I still have some Grandmaster games in the rest of this lesson. It's just like I have to kind of look at it more because then I don't like know what they're thinking, or like yeah, that's basically why. So I was black here and the material is equal and both rooks are pretty active, but he has an active bishop as well, whereas I have a knight, which also could be centralized, and both kings are pretty passive. Okay, so yeah, it's white to move, otherwise I would just take this. So he took, or no, he checked first. I guess rook takes h7 has close to the same effect. Not a big difference. Okay, so rook takes h7. And what would you play here as black?
I would play knight to e3.
Yeah, same.
Knight e3?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you guys think about it for like a couple minutes? Just try to look at other possibilities.
Okay.
Because yeah, black is down a pawn here, so b1 check.
Rook b1.
Rook b1, okay. We're gonna look at that. Knight e1.
knight e3.
Knight e3, that's also an option.
93 bishop f7 h4.
Yeah, I didn't like
Maybe
that.
rook to b1.
It seems too passive.
Maybe rook to b1.
Okay, rook b1.
e2, 93 doesn't work because of
Knight b4. Someone said knight b4. Okay, so a lot of options for black. How many did I look at? Oh, I didn't even look at any of them. Okay, great. So no one said rook a2, but rook a2 is not that good because I can't really take this pawn, and I have to spend another move to cover c6, and then white is really fast with the h pawn. So that's why I started with knight b4 first. Okay, so a lot of people said knight e1. Let's look at knight e1 with the idea of taking. Okay. I think I didn't play that because I wanted to take this pawn. So I think white can play bishop f7, king d8. Bishop takes g6, knight takes e3, bishop takes f5, knight takes f4, and then h4. So yeah, that's why I didn't play this. I think it's still about equal here. So what about bishop e6? Oh, bishop e6 knight. So yeah, if we play for some tricks here, bishop e6, then yeah, black's not going to take. It takes e3. I guess this is also, I think black would play like rook e2 and kick the bishop out. So yeah. What about, yeah, rook d7, then king e6. Rook d6 here. Okay, so we have rook f2 now. Whoops. Rook f2 now. I think you were talking about, like, wait. Okay, yeah, you're talking about like for black, right? So yeah, black has a better position. Oh, rook f2 here. Okay, rook f2 here. That's a good move. That's a good move. H4, take, h5. I'm not so sure of the evaluation here. I didn't analyze this line, but I think white should still be okay because his pawn is protected and he can always play like rook f7. So rook f7 to stop this. But yeah, the material. Oh, white's actually still up a pawn, but yeah, not clear, not clear. I didn't like that because I didn't think taking like these pawns were gonna give me much, so I wanted to go for this pawn, and then I could push the a5 pawn. Let's look at rook b1. I think someone said rook b1. King g2. So I didn't want to play rook b1 because I didn't want to activate his king. Then his king would be a lot more active than mine, even if I would take this pawn. Let's just see if there's a better way to do this. I think king f2 actually is more accurate. Knight takes c3 here, knight b4, and then should be a lot better for white. Because his king's active, he can push this pawn, and he's also threatening to take f5. b6 is more defensive, but does it work? Rook b6. B6. Rook b6. Yeah, I think should be around equal as well. 93 here, take, rook d6, and rook a7, I guess, or yeah, the material is equal. It should be around a draw. Okay. So I guess knight b4 is like more interesting, I guess, but it's still equal. It's not winning by no means. Did I miss anything? Oh, if knight e3, then h4, right, to get out of the checkmate. And yeah, it's spinning bishop f7, same idea. So yeah, that's why I didn't play those. Bishop f7. Bishop d5. I think taking is bad because then I have king f6. And then I take this. Yeah. And I think, like, it's objectively equal, but I would definitely take black here. My king is active and his king is cut off, and my king can always help stop this pawn from pushing. So yeah, he can't really take on g6. He went back. I went back as well. The reason I didn't play king d6 was I didn't want to lose like both these pawns with check. So like rook d6, knight takes d5, check, and then take. No, I was just like asking how you guys would play, but it kind of depends like whether you're trying to win or not. Like I was trying to win, so that's why I was trying to get this a4 pawn. But they're all around equal, I think. So yeah, it's not like there was a winning move, I guess. But I think knight b4 was one of the best moves, I think, if not the best one. Basically, like the idea is like cover c6 and then play. It also attacks d3 if I wanted to take it, and rook a2, and yeah, just really flexible. Okay. And here I went back, but he didn't accept the repetition anyways. Like, I had an option to play king b6, which was which will transpose to the game anyways later. Okay. Hopefully you didn't see that. What would you play here as white? Here, let me flip the board. Maybe give a reason like why you would play the move if you already saw it. G6, I guess. Okay. Well, we don't have a lot of input. I don't know. I guess everyone's gotten quiet, or is it just harder? Like, so should white trade the rooks or not? That's pretty much the question. Like without trading the rooks, he would take this pawn.
I don't see why you should trade the rooks.
So if you trade the rooks, then I guess after king a5, you would trade the rooks and then play bishop f7 and then take these two pawns. So is that better than just taking it immediately, or is taking it immediately better? Don't do it.
Wouldn't you lose the c pawn though, if the bishop takes the g6 pawn?
Yeah, pretty much. If white takes these two pawns, black's gonna lose. I mean, white's gonna lose all his queenside pawns, so it's gonna be a race, pretty much.
Yeah.
So since white has the bishop, depends on like if you think white has good chances there or not.
I mean,
black
in open positions, don't bishops usually do better?
Yeah, that's usually the guideline, but it depends on the position. So could be different for every position, but we'll see.
So I'm thinking like rook b7, trade rooks, then bishop f7 maybe. But I don't know if it looks too good because the king's all the way on vacation, right? It's all the way on h1, so I'm not too sure.
Okay. So let me put an idea into your head. So if the rooks are traded and white plays bishop f7, black can take the a4 pawn, and if he manages to stop like the counterplay here like long enough, he can push his a pawn in time. So like, do you think that's possible? Like, I didn't really know how to word that, but like pretty much black's chance is the a pawn. So that's what white had to calculate here. Okay, we'll look at both. So in the game, white played rook b7, but rook takes g6 is actually better. Okay, we have a line here. Yeah, we'll look at that later though, since it's in the other line. So it's actually better because white keeps his active rook and he takes the g6 pawn immediately, so he doesn't have to waste time later with the bishop. So the bishop taking the pawns actually takes a lot of, like, a couple moves, not a lot of time, but like a couple moves, which is important in the endgame. Yeah, we'll look at rook b7 though. There's a couple lines. there. And after this, white's just gonna roll with his H pawn. And even here, the white rook can create counterplay against the king. So yeah, and this is a lot quicker for white because he's already taking g6 and he can bring his king, harass my knight to help push his H pawn. We're gonna compare it to rook b7, and here it's already he has to trade. There's no other choice. Bishop f7, and yeah, here's an interesting moment. Okay, yeah, can't take c4. So,
No, but then here, doesn't black have to go bishop e1? I mean, white, is this white to play now?
No, it's black to play. It's black to play.
And I don't think you can do knight takes c4 then.
Knight takes. Sorry, say that again.
You could do knight takes c4, but that won't work because takes on g6, and then he'll take here, and then he'll get this pass, very powerful pass pawn.
No, this isn't possible now. He's bishop takes. Right.
Oh, okay, the bishop is there.
Bishop's still there. So king takes a4, king takes a4. Everyone's saying king takes a4. Yeah, okay. I played knight d3. Okay. Yeah, king takes a4 is better. I should have put an insert diagram and asked you guys, but king takes a4 is the best. Because like the previous game, it's forcing. After knight d3, it's not forcing because he can take and then play bishop e8. Why is king takes a4 not good here? Oh yeah, it's still good here. Okay, so it's good in both, I guess. I guess this isn't really like this isn't really like
我有60万的课，对吧？
this isn't really like not wasting time. It's more about like picking the right pawn to take, like the right calculation. Because if I take a4, then we get to this endgame, and it's a race between the a pawn and h pawn, and the bishop actually has to stop the pawn on a4. It has to sacrifice itself on a4 because once it has to try and stop itself, the pawn on a2, it only has b1. So if the bishop is here and my pawn is all the way at a3, it has to stop it at b1. But my king can kick the bishop out really easily. This diagonal is way too short. And that's because of this c pawn. So this c pawn is actually not helping white. Just based on this position, it's unlucky that it's blocking its own bishop. Okay. So I took this. This, if he took it, would have transposed, but he played bishop e8, which is the correct move. Because this f pawn is not helping me, so there was not really a reason to keep it. The white king can easily stop the pawn on the knight while pushing that pawn, and bishop e8, like it's just delaying my queenside push. So I have to take this pawn instead, and this bishop's also really good here. It controls h5 and a4. Whereas if it was on f5, it wouldn't have done that, right? It wouldn't. He would have had to spend another move. Actually, let's just look at this really quickly other than me explaining it. Or I guess this is winning as well, but I'm trying to get the line where I was just explaining it. Oh, okay. Here's the line. Yeah, and Black doesn't even care. He can just give up his knight because there's no way to stop the pawn. And I make it just in time. Right. If he stops this, then oh, okay. Here's a question. So White's planning to sacrifice his bishop for my pawn. What's the easiest way to win? What's the easiest way to win? Here. And he's also he wants to play king g3 and push this h pawn as quickly as he can. a4. So a4 is the first choice. So yeah, we'll definitely look at that. Any other ideas? a4 seems most obvious to me. Yeah.
So what are we doing now? What is the cleanest way to win for Black?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just
I think it's knight to h3. Oh no, that won't work.
And what about knight to e6?
Knight to e6.
Bishop captures, you can push pawn to a4.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to take it though.
h5. h5. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have a move here? Do you have a move? Because it's could still be good. No.
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. Knight e6. Wait, I'm just looking. Can he take this? Okay, yeah, this. Wait. Yeah, okay, I make it in time. So yeah, 96 still works. Okay, kind of close. Like the best move is knight g6. Pretty much, it's like kind of weird, I guess, like to kind of provoke the pawn to push. But after knight f8, I gain a tempo on the bishop, right? And my knight, it was coming to f8 anyways to stop sacrifice the pawn on h7, like whenever necessary. But white still has like a long way to do that, and it gains that tempo on the bishop, and then now it's just really easy. It's just like really slow for white. Here. Actually, this is not that clean. Knight h7. 1 knight h7, then take. Here, 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 here. Why was this the best line? I'm trying to remember. a4 honestly looked better. I think I misplayed it. Or what happened? b3. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, whoa, okay, king e4. And it's just winning. Like king g7, here, here, here. h7 I'll take, and otherwise here. Okay, let's look at a4 actually. How about king d5 instead of king d3? King d5, well, I would still play king f6. c4. Yeah, it's the same thing, like c4, h6, c3, king g7, knight e6. King g6, actually, probably better because king f6, c2 here, here, and then I skewer his queen. Okay, anyways, this is like really far off topic. I think a4 is still winning, but like I didn't analyze this, but I think maybe I'll just transpose, or yeah, I'd probably just transpose. Anyways, how about king d5? Your king is closer to the h5. Okay. Nope, this did not happen. What happened? Bishop e8. Okay. And yeah, here I had to sacrifice my knight. Because if knight e6, then bishop f7 is winning. So yeah, that's why. Knight d5, then the same thing, bishop f7. I had to sack it here. King b3. Practically 3 pawns versus a bishop. So wait. Yeah, so
Are you winning here?
am I winning here?
Yeah.
I think it was a like white can still draw this, but that's why I said like white has to play carefully because he can still draw this somehow. So the best move was a5, like with the idea that it's pretty much 2 pawns versus a bishop, and he can bring his king in time to the corner. Okay, this is a lot of calculation. He played king g2, so this should be winning now. King takes a4 is just winning. I think it's just winning. Yeah, there's just too many pawns. Like when he gets to here, then I have this pawn as well, so I can sacrifice 1 pawn and then push another to win the bishop, and then I have 1 last pawn. So should have just taken there. Play c4, bishop 7, king b4, bishop g6, take. Okay, here. So 2 pawns versus a bishop. What would you play as black?
I would just play king b3 because it actually he can check you too, and then white's king is also very far away from this pawn.
Okay. Maybe think about it. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to think about it.
I thought he was a
Because
5-year-old.
If the move was really obvious, I probably wouldn't ask you guys, right?
Wait a minute, how did you draw this game? It looks completely winning.
Okay, we'll see.
Bruh, you drew the game. You're completely winning here.
How do you guys see that? Oh, does this not
Yeah,
show
the
up?
top is there, yeah. It says Rodrigue, Lemieux, Sean, there's Eugene and all
Does it
this.
say at the top or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. I thought it didn't show because on my screen there's like this thing that covers it.
That's sad.
Didn't put the result.
Very unlucky. Too unlucky.
So, what's everyone saying? I see one. I heard one king b3 and I saw one king a3. I guess everyone's agreeing. Okay. So I play king b3. King b3 looks most natural. But king a3 is actually winning.
How is King A3 winning?
There's a difference. There is actually a difference. Yeah, so bishop e6 would have drawn, which like it doesn't even look like it draws from here, but he plays king f2. So for a while, like we both didn't see this idea of bishop e6. So pretty much the idea is that after bishop e6, I play a5, king f2, a4, king here, a3, king d4, and it's a draw. Because after a2, bishop takes, this is a draw. So
that's how you do the game.
no, this pretty much happened, but like it was like a bit different.
I think you should have moved the king earlier, because if you move the king, you could have like survived a little bit from the pin.
Okay, so yeah, if I move my king like here, yeah, for sure, I could have after bishop e6, I could have avoided this, but I lost that move, right? I lost that king b3 move, so that extra move is enough to draw.
And now you can actually start pushing. Maybe you can win this, or because now you can double push them. The pawns, because his bishop will be stuck here trying to block this pawn, so you can usually make your way through.
Yeah, I could still try, but he makes it in time. Draw. King c3.
Oh wait,
yeah.
It's gonna be a draw because after king b2, he has to go a1.
I don't know. Were you talking about king c3 here? Yeah, here probably you were talking about king c3. Yeah,
Because
same thing. King f1.
In time. Oh,
He
also
reaches
in time.
Yeah, he does reach it in time.
He does.
Oh no, not like this. Let me see how to draw here. King 2, a5. Okay, sorry. So king f2. This is right. a5 and then bishop d7.
Oh yeah, wait, because now the c pawn is blocked by the king.
Wait, but not king d2. No.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I got a question for you. Have you
Okay.
ever tried with two bishops?
Um.
Because it's a very rare endgame to play. Two bishop endgame.
No, I don't think I have. But anyway,
It's very complicated. I've watched some videos. It's still complicated.
Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to draw this. King f2. Okay, a4. Or, whoops, sorry. King e1, a4. King d1, a3, and then bishop takes e4. And this is a draw.
Only because now the king can make it in time to that one square.
Yeah, exactly.
c1, yeah.
So that extra move was enough. So that's why king a3 is just winning, because he doesn't have bishop e3.
Did you play
I mean,
king
not
A3?
bishop e3, bishop e6.
Did you play king a3?
No, I played king b3.
Oh.
But he didn't see bishop e6, and then I didn't see it again. So if I played king b2, it would have been winning, right? So I didn't see here. He didn't see it again. So we didn't see this until here. c3 would have been winning again. Same thing.
Even if he tries to check, you can start pushing, and then he can't get through the wall with your king, because then can you go back to the original position?
Like where?
Yeah, like the one where he moves c3. Like your pawn was there, you know. Even if he wants, he could have gone like king d2, and then now if he pushes, he can't get through the wall, because then a4, a3, a2, a1 is queen, and then it's an easy winning endgame.
Yeah, you're right. This is winning. But I think we were both in like time trouble or something, because like we didn't see this bishop e6 tactic until like here, and then here it's a draw because he sacrifices and reaches that this drawn position in time. And if I didn't do that, then he would have won both pawns. Okay. So any questions? So just like that one move, can like really make the difference, like in an endgame, for sure. So if anyone doesn't have any questions, then we'll go on to the next game. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have seen this game, but it was 1 year ago, so not like pretty recent in the World Rapid and Blitz. This was the Blitz portion between Ali Reza and Magnus Carlsen. So I think Carlsen won the Rapid and Blitz in this tournament, so he was like first for both, but Ali Reza was doing pretty well. I think he got second or third in the Rapid, but so he was playing in the Blitz, and he had good chances in this position. It's around equal.
I think there's a big controversy between Ali Reza and Magnus, and one of them, I think.
Yeah, it was in this game. That's it was exactly in this game, and it happened in the endgame later, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, black to move here, white signing checkmate. What would you play if you're playing as Carlsen?
Queen g7.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, queen g7, and if I take on e5 with the pawn. I'll give you guys more time to think about that because it's not easy.
Maybe king to e8.
King to e8.
Wait, no, that will lose
Yeah,
the pawn on g6.
that will lose the pawn. Yeah, exactly.
If he takes the pawn on e5, can't you just take back with d6?
Yeah, but instead of taking the pawn back on, wait.
So queen, okay, I'll talk about queen g7 first. Queen g7, take on e5, take back with the pawn. And queen b4, that's a problem, right? Queen b4.
Yeah.
And then take on b7, right? So you either have to find like some other first move or like not take back on e5 with the pawn. So I'll leave that for you to think about. Somebody said king g7. Yeah, we'll look at that. Seems to avoid the checkmate at least.
King g7.
Okay, king g7. So you just don't like queen g7 anymore, or like you don't know what to do after he takes on the e5?
Yeah,
right?
after he takes on, I mean, you lose a pawn, right? You lose the b7 pawn.
Yeah, unless like there's another move after d takes e5.
Wait, what about queen to f6?
True.
Queen to f6. Yeah, that's also a possibility. So the three main options which everyone has found are queen g7, king g7, and queen f6. So good job. You found all the options. Now it's just picking which one is the best.
I think king g7 because I don't see how you lose any material.
Okay. That's
yeah, but king g7, the white queen will kind of chase you out of protection. Then even the knight might come.
So that's just based on your feeling, like you feel it's risky or like that is probably not good, right? Okay.
I don't see how after a while, so like say queen g8, then king f6, queen h8, bishop g7, queen h4, g5, and I don't see any more checks.
I guess he's saying like after knight g3, knight h5 is like weak, but
yeah,
we'll look at that.
That's true.
Yeah, queen h8, bishop g7. You don't go farther with the king. You just play bishop g7. Okay, so let's look at king g7. It was an option for Carlsen to play, but it looks kind of scary because like it forces g5, and usually you don't want to play g5 because like it's the g pawn is protecting h5 and f5, so yeah, and then knight g3 and knight h5 looks scary, but black has time to defend. But considering that this was a blitz game, like I think black didn't want to make like concessions like this because he didn't want to give squares for the knight. So he just didn't really want to like calculate this, I guess. So he went for queen f6, which is a mistake. Yeah, because of d takes e5. Because d takes e5 is also possible after queen g7, but there's a difference. After queen f6, black pretty much has to take with the pawn. Otherwise, he's getting checkmated, right? Or like, well, if he doesn't take the pawn, then he's just going to be down a pawn. So, or maybe even e6. Okay, anyways. In the game he took. But why is queen g7 different after takes? Can anyone see it now that I have the position here?
I think I know.
Sure, go ahead.
Maybe because of like you said before, queen to b4 is a threat now. Maybe.
Yeah. Queen b4 is the threat. Like after d takes, queen b4, and then white's winning the pawn. So, but like, my question is why is queen g7 good? And why is queen f6 is bad because of d takes e5, which we saw.
So like good for black.
Yeah, why is queen g7 like okay for black? I put an exclamation mark here. If black has to take back, then it should be bad, right? So why did I put an exclamation mark? Must be for a reason.
b5.
Yeah, exactly. b5. Kicks the queen from the threats, and then after the queen moves, queen takes e5, and this is like much better for black because the material is equal and white has black has 2 bishops, generally better than the knight, especially in this like pretty open position, and white has double pawns and centralized queen. If white trades it, then black just has a better endgame. So probably black would win this in a practical game. Like even if something like queen a7, like I can just play king a7 and then take. This should be a lot better for black. Okay, but Magnus played queen f6. Probably he didn't see like, yeah, he just didn't see like queen b4, I think. If he saw queen b4, then he also has to find this b5 intermediate move, which is kind of hard to see. So like the only move he had to go for pretty much is king g7 since he didn't spot queen g7. But even king g7 looks kind of sketchy, so anyways, he just blundered this. And he played c5. So he played c5 because you want to open the bishop up. And then after the bishop gets here, it attacks the knight and then puts pressure on e3, like trade the knight and then take e3, right? And he was fine with white taking this pawn because then his queenside pawns would still be connected. So he would be okay with this. This isn't so bad for black. I guess it's slightly better. But this knight like can't really move, so it's pretty much just the queen and bishop. But it's still okay for black. After this though, it's kind of bad because the pawns are really weak. So bishop b5. Check. King a7. King g7 not possible because of checkmate, so king e7 is forced, and Magnus loses another pawn. Queen d6, and he has to trade queens because if he doesn't, then white blocks the bishop. So this is like hard to understand. Like c5 was a hard move to find, but basically, if he just plays something normal, like king e8, then this was definitely losing because there's no counterplay for him. Oh yeah. So we gotta finish this in 8 minutes. Okay. So anyways, trades the queen, and like I think Ali Reza had like some other options, not trading the queen, but I guess it's understandable he traded the queens because he was like, I'm 2 pawns up. Yeah, I'm 2 pawns up, and it was like blitz. So I think he probably figured that the opposite colored bishop endgame was winning, and he'd have at least a draw. So yeah. Oh, and he didn't move his knight because then Magnus would take. So okay, now we have opposite color bishop endgame, and white's up 2 pawns. And even though this extra pawn's like not really doing much, still an extra pawn. But it's actually a draw still. So if white plays here, then king f6, it should be fine. Bishop d5. Okay, here, what would you guys play as black? And I'll just give 1 minute because I don't want to take too long. Here, I'll flip the board. So black doesn't, like, all his pieces are already in the best possible, like, other than the bishop, but like, what do you think black should play here? Bishop e7. So bishop e7 is what he played in the game, which is a mistake. The reason is because it blocks the king after king f3, which happened in the game. He can't bring his king to f6 in time. The king can't go here in one move. So he should have played something like king d7. Here, 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 here. And now he can like put his bishop where he wants it, I guess. Or actually the bishop is still okay on f8 because the king is flexible between both sides and bishop as well. Okay. Just go through this. Oh, whoops. So here Ali Rez is just pushing all his pawns. Bishop d8. Okay. So white has pushed all his pieces to the best possible squares. But it's his turn here. So if it's black's turn here, then black would have to make a bad move and then he would lose. So how does white skip a move here? So if you see like a position where it's your turn and like your opponent doesn't really have any good moves, if it was his turn, then you can try and skip a move, like not physically, but like put him in zugzwang somehow, like pass a move. So how would you do that here? Bishop c6.
I just want to say there's 5 minutes left until the 7 p.m. tournament starts today.
Okay, I'll just finish it then so you guys can register. So yeah, he played king g6, but bishop c6 would have won because this would be black to move now, and then white would win a pawn. In the game he played king g6, and then this happens. Still winning.
Actually, the reason Carlson made that mistake is that he was low on time.
Yeah, they were both very low on time here, so I don't blame them. Like it's this game, but it's just like the analysis, like how you can make a waiting move.
And I think it said that Carlson could win if white promotes to a knight. I think that's what it said. Carlson
Okay. Yeah. So here, white managed to win the third pawn, but he flagged here. So and they claimed a win for black because it's possible for black to checkmate if white promotes a knight and then the king gets trapped. Okay. So that's it from for the lesson, because the tournament's at 7 p.m. So if you guys want to play in the tournament, then you're gonna have to have a couple minutes to register. So I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, that it was good, and thanks for coming. to the lesson.
Thank you for the.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Can we leave?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
You can leave.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Good luck in the tournament.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right.
And the call now. Okay, all right, take care. Are you playing in the tournament?
I'm probably not playing in this one, but
okay.
Yeah, I'll play in the weekend one.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.